Christmas Eve arrived without warmth. Broken strings of holiday lights flickered across shattered windows, swaying above empty streets and burned storefronts like decorations nobody bothered to take down. Smoke clung to brick walls, and the air smelled of cold ash and old fire. Somewhere in the distance a single church bell rang once, then stopped, as if even prayer had decided this city was not listening anymore. On a rooftop overlooking the district, Staff Sergeant Elena Ward lay, prone behind a slab of cracked concrete. Her rifle was steady. Her breathing was slow, controlled, almost detached from the freezing air around her. She was there only to watch. That much had been made painfully clear to her. No engagement, no initiative, no judgment. Just observe. Her radio crackled with clipped voices that never used her name. Procedure checks. Status reminders. Warnings dressed up as professionalism. She was under review. She was not to act. She was told again to stay in her lane, as if the battlefield respected lanes. Below her, 11 Navy SEALs moved through the streets in disciplined silence. Their boots cut through ash, broken glass, and scattered debris with practiced ease. They believed the briefing. They believed extraction would come when it was supposed to. They did not know the alleys ahead had already been measured, rehearsed, and prepared to kill them. Elena tracked their movement through a scope with mechanical precision. Corners taken clean, intersections checked twice, spacing tight. Professional. Too professional. Too professional to deserve what was waiting. Her scope picked up movement that should not have been there. Heat signatures behind walls marked clear on the map. Shadows shifting on rooftops that Intel had labeled empty. A man leaning into view, then disappearing the moment the team slowed. This district was not abandoned. It was staged. Then the helicopters diverted. No warning, no explanation, just empty sky. Elena did not react outwardly. She simply noted the absence, the way experienced soldiers always do. She adjusted her optics slightly and kept watching. Panic wastes time. Time kills people. She had been still for so long that the rooftop felt like it had grown around her, not frozen, not hesitant, controlled. Her elbows pressed into concrete at the exact pressure needed to keep her rifle stable. Her cheek rested against the stock like it belonged there. Even her blinking was timed between scans. Comfort was not part of her job. A strip of tape held her watch tight to her wrist. She checked it quickly, the same way she checked distance and angles. Exact, emotionless. Geometry mattered more than hope. There was nothing flashy about Elena Ward. That was part of why people underestimated her. She wore army kit in a space dominated by Navy culture. Navy callouts, Navy jokes, Navy confidence. And she was the Army sergeant on a rooftop, attached to the mission like an extra piece of equipment. No one remembered requesting. The second reason people doubted her was simpler. She was a woman. Not loudly, not defiantly, but visibly. It sat in the pauses when she spoke during briefings, in the careful tone people used when addressing her rank, in the double takes at her rifle, as if permission might be revoked at any moment. The third reason followed her everywhere. Problem. A year earlier, on another rooftop in another country, a Marine convoy rolled into an ambush that should never have happened. The order came down to hold fire. The justification was political, written in language that sounded clean and reasonable. Elena watched Marines take hits anyway. She fired without permission. She broke the ambush. Marines went home, alive because she ignored procedure. And ever since, people discussed her like a liability, not a soldier. Some called her reckless. Some called her brave. Most called her inconvenient. Now she existed in limbo. Not punished, not cleared. Just waiting in the gray space where careers quietly disappear. That was why tonight her instructions were simple. Observe. Do not engage. Do not decide. Below her, Alpha 6 moved deeper into the district. Lieutenant Commander Aaron Hale led from the front, not to prove anything but because that was where he could best protect his men. His calm came from repetition, from nights where mistakes were measured in folded flags. Senior Chief Matthew Rohr stayed close. Experience radiated from him without effort. He watched rooftops, windows, doorways, and the silence between radio. Cold silence worried him most. Petty Officer First Class Lucas Donnelly, known as Mac, carried the team's communications. He adjusted his headset again and again. The delays felt wrong. The responses felt filtered. Filtered meant chosen, and Jonah Reyes, the youngest, carried something no one teased him about. A folded Christmas card pressed into his plate carrier. A child's drawing. Stick figures a crooked star. He touched it once, then focused forward. Elena watched the team approach an intersection that made her jaw tighten. Clean sightlines, broken cover, a perfect funnel. She keyed her mic over watch reports, coordinated movement ahead. Recommend caution. The reply came flat. Observation noted. Do not escalate. Escalate. The word felt dishonest. Hale raised a fist. The team froze. Heat signatures froze with them. Rehearsed, calculated, thermals, heavy, Mac whispered. Way heavier than breathed. Hale requested updated numbers. Standby. The pause was too long. Then the net crackled again. Extraction checking in. 2 minutes out. Acknowledged. Then a new voice cut in. Standby. Extraction. Diverting. Hale. Stiffened. Say again. Silence. Extraction diverting. Hold position. Oro looked up sharply. Diverting where? No answer. Mac shook his head. They're ghosting us. Hale pressed the radio. Command. We are exposed. The reply was cold. Hold position. Political situation has changed. Political situation. On the rooftop, Elena watched the helicopters turn away. She keyed her mic. Overwatch requesting clarification. Birds are leaving. Confirmed. Maintain observation. Do not engage. Elena removed her earpiece. Below, the first hostile raised his weapon deliberately. Contact. Hale said calmly. Gunfire cracked through the night. Controlled. Measured. Designed to herd. Elena's finger hovered near the trigger. She pressed the recorder inside her vest. Staff Sergeant Elena Ward. Friendly forces under coordinated attack. Engagement denied. Acting to preserve life. She stopped recording. She fired. Not at the loudest threat. At the right one, a signaler issuing commands. One shot. He fell. Doubt spread. Another shot silenced a heavy weapon. The battlefield tilted. Move. Hale ordered. Alpha 6 flowed through a corridor that did not exist moments earlier. Far away. Colonel Whitaker watched patterns change. He made a call. The helicopters returned. Rotors thundered overhead. Alpha 6 extracted. 11 in, 11 out. Elena stayed on scope until the last second. Then she keyed the radio. I preserved friendly. 4 says she said. The rooftop stayed cold. But Christmas morning did not become a funeral.